If something weird happens, just keep going?
Yes.
Okay.
Weird, like, I don't know, farts.
Like,
if someone farts, he'll edit that out.
Welcome to EML Radio and the series I call Raw Sugar. This is an inside look at the conversations I have over coffee with my closest friends and tribe members. We have so much fun, we laugh, we discuss an unlimited number of topics, and most importantly, we share a wide variety of viewpoints in order to make each other better human beings. So grab your coffee, settle in, and get ready for some great inside conversations.
if something weird happens, just keep going?
Yes.
Okay.
Weird, like, I don't know, farts.
Like,
If someone farts, he'll edit that out.
the light goes off or the curtain falls or
And all
whatever.
of
Just
a
keep
sudden,
going.
We know you've eaten green.
Just keep going.
I love
Yeah.
it.
No.
I'm going to adjust you down just a
Okay.
little bit. Eve's like an expert now. Sound.
Who knew?
What is it called?
I'm
So
like,
a
you're
gaffer.
sound
I don't know
tech.
what that's called.
If my career in EML and podcasting and writing books and producing cookbooks
You're an
and being a
engineer.
public speaker, if none of those work, the good news is I'm gonna go work like
You're sounding
backstage for like Aerosmith.
Perfect.
Oh, it needs to be better
Like
than
a mix of-
Aerosmith.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, they'll be
Like
gone
you
probably
better.
before my
Michael
career.
Bublé, maybe.
Yeah.
Who's hot right
Dead.
now? At least make it a young, hot piece of ass. I mean,
No.
why would you want not Aerosmith?
Well, you're like Aerosmith.
Aerosmith.
He's 71. He's like
No.
as old as your grandpa.
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
Is he really that old?
He really is that
I
old.
think
And we
he
just went to
is.
the concert, and I'm telling you,
Does Joe Perry still not wear a shirt? And how old is Joe Perry? Like, he's the guitarist.
no, he had a shirt on.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was open.
Yeah, I was like, exactly.
You gotta live
I was like, exactly. Of course it was.
And he had some gold chains on. It was fine.
I had no intention of talking to you about this, but it's worth. Seriously, we took Scarlett,
A long time ago.
and we were worried about it because we had seen Def Leppard
Okay.
like
Yeah.
probably about 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
And what's his name? Joe Elliott? Is that his name? I think Joe
Yes,
Elliott.
the lead singer.
Yes. So he was so wasted that
Fantastic.
like 2 songs in, like he just had to leave the stage, and then they did this long, drawn out. It was just horrible. I'm like, this is kind of crap. Like we buy tickets and you're just you can't
Yeah.
even function. Like why are you performing anymore? I've heard that they've gotten better again, so maybe he cleaned up his act. So we were worried when we went to Aerosmith, but I'm not kidding you.
Tyler
It was
Sober, isn't
fucking unreal. I'm not kidding
Really?
you. It was as if you were seeing them
it? It must
like
be better
in their
than when I
prime.
saw him.
Yeah, because it
They were
was.
good when I saw him.
And I know that like he went through some rehab, so that may be obviously one of
when
those
I
guys
saw-
just ended up with
yeah.
drug problems, and I don't know his story. But I did read that he had just come through some drug rehab stuff, so like from prescription drugs from pain, right? Which I was like, well,
yeah.
shit, no wonder the dude's in pain. He's 71 and he's like flying all over the stage like a
Yeah.
little monkey and still like freaking on top of his
Yeah.
piano.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah.
But
Didn't
long
he
story
have-
short, it really was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And the whole time I was there, I already talked about this in a different podcast I recorded about aging, but I was like, this is a perfect example of why when people constantly say, oh, I'm old and I feel tired and I feel run down,
Yeah.
like that is, for one, kind of like a badge of honor anymore. Like being tired is like makes you more important, right? Just like being too busy. Right?
Absolutely.
But being tired, and I was
Too
like, that's
busy.
just absolutely not true.
Right.
If you're that tired, for one, it's probably because you're not taking care of your body.
Yeah.
Right? And for 2, you're probably not doing anything in your life that you're passionate about. Because, like, that was it, right? I mean, think about those
Yeah.
guys' life. Think of any rock star for that matter. Most of those guys have
lucky to be alive.
seriously rough lives,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They mistreat their bodies, but for some reason, they pull through it. And I think it's
Yeah.
because they're doing something that lights them up
Yeah.
on a daily basis, like seriously lights them up.
Well, it's a myth of aging. It's like people want to be tired and they want to be exhausted and they want to be incapable because that means I've been successful at something.
Right.
But what happens
Even if it's being exhausted.
even if it's being exhausted,
Yeah.
because
Can you move your
exhaustion,
microphone out in front of you a little bit more for me? Thank you. Just
exhaustion,
thanks, because I want you to be able to look at me, but I want to be able to hear you good.
exhaustion is the shield of sabotage that allows people to join together in communion. Because if I go, Eva, I'm so tired, most people will go, me too.
Oh, I'm so tired too.
Right. And then we can bitch for an hour about how tired we are and have no resolution. But nobody goes, oh, you're tired? Well, let's go for a walk. Nobody does that. Nobody goes, oh, you're tired? Well, what did you eat today? Or what did you move today? Or how did you wake up this morning? Did you sleep last night? Nobody asked.
Do you have any kind of sleep routine?
Right, exactly.
I'm sorry to hear you're tired. Instead of like, let's join forces in misery and be miserable and tired together.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
Go to work, right?
Yeah.
Work in an office, right? Go to work on a Monday and everybody's going to be like,
oh yeah, Mondays are a struggle.
Yeah.
Like, what'd you do? Why are you tired? Like,
Yeah.
Well, it's Monday is usually the answer.
Well, we prepare ourselves on Sunday night.
It's Monday.
But then you're really tired by Thursday because now it's Thursday and the week has been long.
Yeah. People have no idea what it's like to actually have awareness of what tired means. So someone can say to me, how are you feeling today? It's pretty rare that I'll say, I'm tired. But if I do say that, it's maybe because, well, I taught a workshop on last weekend. I taught all week. I taught this weekend. Like when I say I'm tired, I'm mentally incapable of functioning. It's not because my hip hurts or my shoulder is sore. But what people do is they prepare on Sunday night, like, I'm going to be so tired tomorrow. They've convinced themselves that they're already exhausted. Crazy. It's crazy.
It is crazy. Yeah. But, like, it's why I do this show, right? Like, I mean, doing this podcast has kind of taken over my life temporarily when I really do have about 5 or 6 other projects and launching a whole brand new company that'll be a nationwide company, right? But I'm willing to do that because I truly, like, I don't want to just sit back and complain about it.
Yeah.
I want to actually provide people with some solutions on it. Like, we talk about it and it's funny and the things we would talk about while we're having coffee. But it's like, okay, then if we put it out there, right, for hopefully millions of people to see, then we can start saying like, okay, well, what do we do? Because I'm not chronically tired, right?
Yeah.
Like this week, I shared on social media, it was like, and it always surprises people when I'm willing to say like, I'm fucking done, right? Like I woke up on Friday morning and was like, I really am done. Like this is a level of, I feel like I need to get out in nature.
I need to, AKA, go to the Four Seasons.
And sit in the atrium.
That is the truth.
My God.
Well,
And
I
get
don't
a
need to go to
massage.
the atrium. I'm just going to go to the spa.
Yes, I'm going to get a massage with Miguel.
I don't
Because he
even need
seems
to go to the atrium.
worldly and outdoorsy.
The atrium, and just by the fact of that it's called the Four Seasons, kind of associates it to
Means
nature.
it's nature.
Even though it's in downtown
They have
St.
a
Louis.
leaf. There's a leaf in the logo. Is that?
On the napkin underneath my martini.
There's a leaf. And the guy coming towards me looks a little nature.
Yeah.
He's exactly.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, people listening to this, I really did say that I needed to get out in nature, and then I was like, well, I'm going to the Four Seasons, so that kind of counts. Which is super funny because Becky is the queen of nature, and how we are like best friends, I have no idea.
Because I was in nature for 7 hours yesterday, and I didn't go to the Four Seasons to get it in.
Well, that actually is a perfect transition for us to talk about. One thing I did want to talk about today was like what you like to do for exercise, right? And I don't even necessarily like to call it exercise, but just really just take it back to the most simplistic level of just human movement. Like, what do you like to do as a human to move? And this is just kind of in the forefront of my mind because we're developing a new program and I'm doing videos for it where I'm trying to relate to people that don't know me, right? Or don't really know what to do to improve their health. And I'm like, there's a big difference between movement, like just basic innate human movement versus exercise. And people that don't move enough already think that they have to go to a gym or hire a personal trainer 5 days a week and do all this complex exercise, when the reality is they're not even actually doing basic human movement, right? And there's no better people to talk to about it than you. So I like to know, like, what do you like to do to move? I want you to share with people, like, what do you like to do to move? You.
Me? I was like, are you looking at me?
Because I'm kind of envious, just so you know, I'm kind of envious of Becky's movement.
Okay, my movement.
I have jealous streaks every now and then. I'm like,
I'm just going to let that sit. Let's just
show us the Becky's moves.
right there. Becky and her movements.
My movement is a preferred movement, I would say, is hiking. But that wasn't what I always did. So last summer I decided I wanted to get out and hit trails. And I did it a lot, but I never really had hiked. I mean, I do like 1 or 2 milers, like nothing big. And then last summer I really kind of put the pedal to the metal and did a lot of hikes pretty much like every weekend. Big stuff where I actually had to start wearing packs and taking water, and that was all new to me because I didn't do anything that long before. And then yesterday I did a little 15 miler up to Thompson Pass and back, which was actually quite fun. And I just like being outside. And even in winter, it's a challenge, but you can still do it. Like, there's an excuse that everybody throws out there. Well, it's winter. What do you do in winter?
Oh, I can't even like it most of the time. Well, I'm
still
trying to
get
walk.
outside.
I'm trying to walk, but
Yeah.
it's raining, or I'm trying to walk and it's winter out. It's like, well, there's these things that you clip on the bottom of your shoes that give you traction, so you don't kill yourself on the ice.
All day yesterday.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's doable.
There's
You're
jackets.
exactly right. It's excuses.
There's
right?
gloves. There's gear out there for everything. Trust me. So get some gear and go do it.
Do you know like how you started being interested in hiking though? Like, simply because you like to be outside?
Because I like to be outside, yeah. And then my dog, and so yeah. I mean, I hiked and walked with her all the time, and I still do. But then it was like, well, let's go for further stuff and exploring our area that we live in. That was the other big part of it.
Becky's here in Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah, I've lived here since 2003, but been in the Northwest since 95. So there's parts I know, but then there's still a ton of stuff I don't know. And there is no better way to see it than being out in it and getting away from the masses, I guess. I don't know. But I know a lot of stuff and trails and places now that I never knew, and people are like, where's that? Every time I tell them. Like, yeah. Well, it's up there, and you take a left, and then there's a Forest Service road, and then after that there's another dirt road, and then you stop at the tree. Like, whatever. So
that's really good mapping, Becky.
Exactly.
Just stop at the tree.
That kind of is my
We live in the Pacific
just
Northwest.
So you know.
That's super helpful for people like me that go out to the Four Seasons.
Just go find a tree. Just walk to the tree.
There's no dirt roads to the Four Seasons.
They might have some construction on floor 3 that you could walk through.
Well, and I've been telling you I'm going to get Casey connected with you.
Yeah, I like how you're like, I'm going to have my husband join you.
Yeah, really, because he doesn't.
She won't.
But that's just one of those things where
I know.
he doesn't really like to work out, right? He just hates the gym. He is completely uncomfortable in a gym, right? He's not this guy that like walks into a weight room and feels comfortable in there, right? He just doesn't like it. It's not his space.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that because he's super lean and he's very defined, and so people are like, oh my God, you must work out all the time, which is a perfect example of like your body really doesn't tell the story of your fitness, right?
Yeah.
It's just one aspect of it, but it's not the telltale.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to just help him find things that he actually enjoys doing. Like he loved doing like when we did the Tough Mudder and we did more like adventure races, which I told him I would join him on one. I stopped doing that when I was competing because I didn't want to like do a Tough Mudder and then blow out my shoulder, which I effectively did through my sport. Like well, at least I needed it to matter. But anyway, I've been telling been telling Becky that I want Casey to go hiking with her because he loves it.
Yeah.
And I am not built to hike. Well, I mean, I could do it if I enjoed it, but I
You
really
have
just
legs.
don't like it.
You're built to hike, Eve. You have legs.
Like, you're
I mean,
In my head. I do have
Get out of
legs.
your head. Like yesterday, I mean, we unplugged for 7+ hours. We were off the grid. I mean, we throw our phones into airplane mode. My friend Shannon and I, we hit airplane mode like as soon as we get out of the car. We are off the grid. We chat and talk the whole time. So not only are you out connecting with nature, like you're connecting with each other. I mean, we have hilarious conversations. We have moments of silence, but the trail conversations, it's like a podcast. I mean, and I tell Shannon, like, we should record ourselves. Like, this is pretty funny shit, like, for people. Maybe just to us, but I think somebody else would find it funny, So.
we're so funny.
Exactly.
The reality is, I really don't like to be out in nature. It's not a calming thing for me, right? It's just like, And it's not that I can't decompress, because I actually turn off my phone.
Yeah.
Like this week I had record low usage, and I work on my phone.
Yeah.
Right? Which is like good progress.
Yeah.
But being out in nature just doesn't calm me. It actually makes me just kind of like irritated and itchy.
It makes me itchy.
Because I really I enjoy, now I'm the complete opposite of my husband. I walk in a weight room and I'm just like fucking on fire, right? Yeah. I love it. Like, it lights my soul up. It's like, I love to talk to everybody in there. Like, I don't care if you've got some big, huge swole dude that's a complete meathead. I'm like, he probably has something to teach me about like bodybuilding or something. I can go, after I sold my gym, went into Fuel Fitness, and it was like, man, I can strike up conversations with everybody in there. Where Casey walked in there and was like, how can you stand this place? It's horrible.
That's kind of how I
right? I know, and most of our ex-clients felt that way, and it's nothing against Fuel at all, right? I like the place, but it's just not for everybody.
Right.
But it brings me full circle into, that's the trouble that we have, is that people think you have to go there. Right? They think fitness happens within like 4 walls, and it doesn't. It happens, like, you've never been fitter in your life, right? And I would probably argue that like her core and stuff is stronger from all that postural endurance required of her hiking on these long, plus she takes good care of herself, right?
I think part of it too is that we have this, where did we learn about fitness? Where did we learn about taking care of ourselves? 6th grade PE. So in 6th grade PE, what did we do? It was like we would play dodgeball one day. We would do dodgeball. We would play flag football, which really
kids, right?
like
fucking beat each other in the face.
Lord of the Flies.
It's Lord of the Flies. But in reality, in reality, I feel like on some level that we have this conception that we have to do what everybody else is doing. Yeah. So if I'm having a conversation with Becky and she's like, I hiked 15 miles yesterday. I feel 2 things. 1, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And 2, less than.
Yeah.
And so then the less than goes, you don't really understand me. I don't want to hike. And then we just shut down on movement. We shut down on movement, I feel. And I teach yoga and movement. And I think really, one of my teachers says, we're designed to be human. Humans eat, hunt, gather, and have sex. That's what we're designed to do. Anything besides that takes you away from your humanness. But we don't hunt, gather, and have sex anymore, at all.
None of those things for most people.
We wait for shit to be brought to our house, and then we're not even gathering. We're not hunting. And because people aren't moving, and I'm not saying marathon. I'm not saying go kill yourself for 30 minutes on a treadmill, because we can't compartmentalize movement. Movement means it's happening all day long. And if your movement pattern is, I'm going to get up in the morning and walk to my car and drive to my office and sit in a chair and then go on a treadmill for 30 minutes, that's not moving.
Right.
That's just like junk food.
Right. That's just necessity, right? Unless you're going to lay in your bed all day long.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so movement is, what if you yes, I get down, you're bending down. I get you're bending down to pick up your Amazon box, but that isn't necessarily functional movement. You know what I mean? And so it's like, I always tell people to move is to just do what you love. Yeah. Because when you do what you love, your passion comes back. And in that passion, like you were saying, I love the podcast. I love and so you're actually moving from the inside out to attain your podcast.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And so you do, yes, and we're all movers, right? Everybody in the world is a mover. That's the thing that is just so baffling to me, is we feel less than because we see videos. And it's like, I'm going to do a video on moving. It's like, well, really? Like, you don't move all day? Like, instead of sitting for 8 hours, get up 10 minutes every hour and walk around and look and go and talk to people at work. Like, hi, Sally Schmuckatelli. How was your day? And then maybe you'll go and walk around. Just, that can be your movement. Right? It doesn't have to be 30 minutes at 8:30 in the morning.
No.
I get it.
Well, yeah, you do. But, that's like you're like we're talking preaching to the choir, right, to each other.
And what we're doing right now, what the story and the narrative is out there right now isn't working.
No.
Right? Like, it will destroy the human race. And I know that sounds overly dramatic, but it's very true, because if you think about it, can we continue at this level, right? Like,
Yeah.
no, people are fatter, more medicated, more depressed, more in
Yeah.
debt,
Yeah.
right? Like, and just thinking that to be healthy, you're going to go on a diet and then you're going to go join a gym
Yeah.
isn't going to work.
What's
right?
funny, we're
Because
talking
for the
about
vast majority of people out there, I mean, you've got the
already
bottom.
cleared out. What is it, February?
Right.
What's today? And I can tell you that all the New Year's people have already come and
Oh,
gone.
yeah.
That's over.
They've come and gone. Yeah, they've come
That-
and gone.
yeah.
I walk in there at night and I'm like, oh, good, it's less crowded.
There's nobody in
They're
here
already
now.
gone.
Well, that's also part of our instant gratification society, because we go, okay, I'm going to make this resolution on January 1st that I'm going to get fitter, I'm going to move better, I'm going to eat healthy, I'm going to do all these things. And February 1st, you didn't magically transform yourself into what you think you should be, so that's over. So it's like, well, screw it,
didn't
I'm
work.
just going to go eat cake.
Yeah.
Because cake makes me feel good. Moving actually makes me have to participate, and I don't want to be a participator. I think
I want to be an observer.
I want to be an observer.
Yeah, we live in a world of observers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just really easy. I can tell you, because obviously I work, my whole entire business now is online. So social media is a part of that.
Right.
And I am not a social media hater, right?
Right.
I think that if you have big problems with social media, it has everything to do with you, not to do with anything else.
Well,
'Cause
sure.
if you're consumed by people putting selfies out there or anything else that you don't like, well, that's really not on them. That's on you, right? So I think social
Right.
media actually can be a beautiful thing. And
Yeah.
I'm an example of it. Like, I get messages from people all over the world that are like, I wake up every day and look forward to what you have to say because you're helping me through such and such and such, which are big, private, heartbreaking issues for people. So I think social media can be a good thing. But I can tell you that on my Instagram story, so this may actually make my audience subscribership go down, that I can see when someone who clicks on, and I can tell you there's probably about 36 people that are in the top 36 people that watch my story. And I don't have any judgment on it, right? It's not me. But it does make me wonder if this person is at a place in their life that they're really content, if they're just spending literally the whole entire day. It doesn't matter what time I put something new on my story, the same 36 people are at the top of that list every day, no matter what time of day it is. So I'm like, well, what are you doing all day long other than observing someone else's life?
Somebody else.
Right? But I think that that's a hard thing anymore for people to become a participant in their own life.
Well, yeah.
It's hard, right?
Yeah.
Because participating is fucking hard.
Hard.
Well,
Right?
participating means that you actually take ownership of your own life. And so that level of participation takes a vulnerability that most people are afraid to possess. And so it's easier to go on social media and wish and hope
Yeah.
and wonder than it is to actually plug in to your own life.
Yeah.
Because the people who are watched on social media are people who are participating in their life on some level.
Yeah.
You know,
And other people crave it, right? They crave the energy. They're like, man, your energy is like contagious,
Yeah.
even through a phone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because people want it. As humans, we want to participate. Like, that's why we're here. I'm a firm believer. Like, we're all here for a reason, right? You didn't just like
Right.
pop out and go, okay, well, that was for nothing.
Yes.
It's like, no, our lives really do matter, and we're here for a reason. And you are never going to find that reason unless you start participating.
yeah. Well, and that level of participation that's strong work.
Oh, yeah.
That's big W work. That's
Yeah. Well, it's like your whole mirror conversation.
Uh-huh.
People hate the mirror. The mirror is not most people's friend. Or do they ever want to get in front of it?
Well, and I think
'Cause it's
back
not
to
easy.
even like when you and I first met, like your level of participating. Well, we all evolve, right? Like, I mean, I'm
yeah.
a tight tribe because it's like we all kind of have that same drive. Hugely different beliefs, political views, religious views. People don't get that. I mean, there's like probably no one more polar opposite even than the three of us.
Right. I
And
was
all like spirituality. But the three of us, I'm like, Jesus. I'm like Catholic, hang out at the Four Seasons, totally conservative Republican.
Yeah.
Right? It's like,
And I am not. I am not.
Yeah,
Any
no,
of
that's
those
what I'm
things.
saying.
Yeah,
And
I'm
I-
recovering Catholicism, so it works well.
Right, think about that though, right?
Yeah.
But when you have a common goal in participating in your life,
Yeah.
you draw in other people that want to participate in their life. And then you don't care about any of those things. Because I could have a political discussion with you
Yeah,
or
we
with you
don't-
or a religious one with you,
Yeah.
and there wouldn't wouldn't even raise my blood pressure, right?
Oh,
Like I
right.
could do it and
Yeah.
it would be like, there would just be nothing attached to it because we have the common goal of participating in our life. So
Yeah.
all that other shit is just kind of like fun things to talk about,
We
right?
also have respect, I think, for each
Yeah.
other. So that also,
Yeah.
a lot of people don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
Like they don't respect.
I think we have respect for ourselves as much as we have respect
Right.
for each other.
You're right.
And
Correct.
so, because I know I am confident in my authenticity of myself, I can actually be vulnerable enough to listen.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what happens, I think, a lot of times for people is they go, I'm right, you're wrong, I'm going to talk you into being right with me. Oh, that's not going to work. Okay, I don't like you. When I like to come from the aspect of we're both right, because I'm right in my own heart for me.
Right.
Right.
You're right in your own heart for you. So why come at it like I'm going to be righter? I'm going to be more right than
More
you.
right, right.
Like we're both right. Now we can be vulnerable and have a conversation. That's how
Yes.
that's how the three of us work.
Yeah.
Subconsciously, it's not even like a thing.
Right.
Well-
yeah, we don't. It is. Yeah, it's not a thing.
We're
No,
not
it's not.
trying.
This is the first time we've ever even discussed this.
No.
Right? We've never brought this up.
No,
Like,
it's
in all
literally the
these
first
years.
time. Yeah, and it's like it's a powerful tool to understand that level of respect for yourself has to be so strong that you can allow someone else to be part of your life.
Well, and if we talk about it in terms of participating, right? If you're not participating in your own life, it's very irritating to watch or listen to others that are participating in theirs.
Totally.
Yeah.
Even if you completely don't agree with them, right?
Absolutely.
Like, you can think
Yeah.
of anybody
Absolutely.
polarizing out there right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, man, people are just so pissed. Look at our president. I don't like Trump. Jesus. Like, but it's just a
Yeah.
perfect example. Let's just use it. Like, people don't like the level of participation. Like,
Right.
I don't care if you agree with them or not. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Right.
But a lot of anger, right?
Yeah.
A lot of anger is directed at like, don't participate at that level.
Yeah.
Right? And that's coming from a lot of people that aren't participating in their life.
Right.
Right.
Right? So it's really easy to sit and watch Fox News or watch CNN or
Yeah.
any
Yeah.
of these other news channels
Yeah.
all day long.
Yeah.
I don't even know them because I don't watch the news. I don't watch TV.
Yeah.
But yeah, because it's useless. I'm informed, right? But I don't fucking watch
I'm with
TV to
you.
get informed.
Yeah.
But if you're sitting behind the television all day, it's very easy for you to be angry at everybody because you're not participating in your own life.
Yeah.
Wow, chew on that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, man, I hate you for participating. And then it comes
Yeah.
across as, I
Yeah.
hate you because you're a conservative, or I hate you
Right,
because
right, yeah.
you're a liberal, right?
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
no, it's really like, I hate that I'm not participating in my life, so I'm just going to vomit that all over you.
Make you feel bad.
Vomit.
Vomit.
Good word. Good word.
Everything comes
Right.
back to I'm going to vomit on
Vomit.
you.
Well, and I'm really glad this conversation came this direction today. I mean, really, like, I
Yeah.
had no plan. I just want to have coffee with you.
Yeah.
And if people want to listen to us, that's great. If they don't, well, then it doesn't matter because I still carved out
having
time to
coffee.
hang out with
Yeah.
my besties. Right? Which is so good. But I'm glad this conversation came this way because the whole point of this and EML Radio is for people to embrace other people's opinions, who they are, individuality, right? And get rid of all of this toxic, one side is right, one side is wrong. I don't listen to anybody or I don't respect anybody that doesn't think or believe exactly the way I do. And we'll like kind of wrap things up on that note, right? Like a takeaway message for people to go, like, why do I get so irritated at everybody else? Maybe it is time to hold up that mirror, right? That everybody hates. That's like, what is it about me that makes me so angry or so irritated or disconnected? Or like a lot of people will tell me, like, they feel like I shame them, or that like they feel convicted by the things or attacked by the things I say. And I really am like, I love feedback from people, and I fuck it up sometimes, right? Like sometimes I'll use language that's like, maybe that's not quite exactly the way I meant it. But in actuality, like, I wouldn't shame anybody because I'm perfectly content with my level of knowledge and what I'm doing and my level of participation. And I just share that out there in hopes that other people will start participating at a higher level,
Yeah.
and that I can raise that bar. It has nothing to do with shaming people. But I think that we've got a long way to go in people coming back together and respecting one another and realizing that you don't have to agree with someone to actually respect them and actually to learn from them. Because I'm telling you, I've probably learned more even about myself from the two of you than anybody that was like within my comfort zone of who I grew up with. Right? Yeah, think about that.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Yep. So I think that you have the most learning to do from those people that may not always see exactly eye to eye to you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, do you want to share a truth?
I'll share
I'll
a
let
truth.
Jen go first.
Oh, Jen
So
gets
I'd
to go
like to
first.
close every
Okay.
episode
Jen,
with,
you go.
okay, like, let's just give listeners a truth to take away. Right? And I think it's cool that we would have 3 different ones.
Okay, so in connection with participation, in connection with understanding that everybody is right in their own beliefs, because it's their belief, it can't be wrong. My truth is to remember to be that which nothing takes root in, and to not attach myself to confirmation bias of what I believe is true, but to be vulnerable enough to see that the truth shines. The light of the heart is a powerful thing, and to remember that everybody has it. That would be mine.
Okay, I should have gone before. Because
Because now Becky feels less than you.
No.
Dang it.
No! Sing it, sister.
Well, I have 2 that I'm kind of chewing on. So one would just be to be kind. You never know what like kind of day people are having, what they're going through, and most people won't ever confess or tell you. Like, they won't tell you somebody just died. They won't tell you somebody just got diagnosed terminally ill. They won't tell you. They just come in all grumpy, mad, angry, sad, whatever. And so you don't know. And then you read it as they're pissed at me or they're mad at me. I don't know. So just remember to be kind. So even if they come at you, just take, to quote Michelle Obama, take the high road.
To quote Michelle Obama.
Exactly.
And there's the
When they
political
go
difference.
low, when they go low, you go high. So just take the higher ground. You don't know the backstory. You don't know what happened 24 hours ago, 48, 72, whatever it is. Just be kind. Whatever they deal you, whatever they throw at you, whatever they say to you, just be kind.
All right. I had a bunch of truths, but that I was thinking about, but none of them really fit with what we've talked about today. They were all kind of funny.
The truth is, I love a dry
okay.
cappuccino.
Yeah, that is the truth.
Yeah.
And if you don't do it, I'm going to call you a lazy bitch.
That's right. Do your job. The truth is, do your job.
Okay, so my truth that I want everybody to take away today is that, and this fits perfectly with both Jen and Becky's truths, is that if you are willing to be vulnerable and you are willing to share some truth, like some hard truth in your own story, and that does not mean that you have to go tell the world all your problems. But if you're willing to just pull down your shield a little bit and be vulnerable and let people see that vulnerability, that in turn will lead to others being more accepting. And it's 2 sides of that kindness factor and acceptance factor.
Yeah.
Right? And if you truly want to participate in your life, you have to be willing to be vulnerable. Because most of it is hard, dirty, grindy work in life. Right?
Yeah.
And if you're constantly trying to cover up all the struggle, then you're not really truly participating.
Yeah.
And the universe always knows. The universe
Oh,
knows
yeah.
what you're throwing out there, and it gives it back to you.
Oh, it gives it completely back.
Yep.
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 Last note, I shared something on social media this week because I said I was having just a really hard week, like unbelievably hard, and it happens every now and then where it's really like I can't kind of pull myself out of it. But I notice as soon as I do, and as soon as I'm willing to share a little piece of it publicly, what I get back is other people then saying, Evie, you do make a difference, right? Like I need to hear that sometimes. We all do, right?
Especially
when
women.
I'm in service, and I'm in a service industry, right? Like I do every day,
Right.
not for money or anything else, but just truly to serve. That's the reality. And so when this was a perfect example this week, put some vulnerability out there, admit how much I'm struggling. In turn, people, it just come out of the woodwork and say, I needed to hear this message, right? So what I put out there, I got back from the world instead of putting out an affront that I'm just so tough, and then I get a lot of toughness and kind of argumentative comments and direct messages back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So exactly what you put out there is what you'll bring in.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yay.
Thanks, ladies. Let's do this. Like
Thank
every
you.
couple of weeks. Yeah.
Yes.
Yay.
Coffee.
Love it. Appreciate your time.